Hi everyone, this is Brian Hayes, and welcome to a discussion on basic slant bar technique for the slide dobro. Today we're going to focus closely on our left-hand bar technique, and we'll learn to do a simple backwards and forward slant on the neck of the dobro. This technique can equally be applied to the lap steel guitar and to the pedal steel guitar. The pedal steel is designed to avoid the player having to do any bar slants. However, over the years, some of the greatest pedal steel players like Buddy Emmons and Lloyd Green, would often be seen slanting the bar for musical effect, even though mechanically their pedal steels would have let them play the same harmony with a straight bar. So this technique is invaluable to use on any instrument where you slide a metal bar across the strings. I'm going to be using the very simple nursery rhyme Mary Had a Little Lamb as the tune on which I'll demonstrate this technique, and I'm sure you'll be able to pick up how and when to use it to help you add some harmony to your slide steel playing. I'll adjust the camera angle to be tightly focused on my left hand, so let's get started. I'm using the standard open G tuning on my dobro, so from the 6th string down, from the thick string down, I've got a G, B, D, G, B, and D. That's the standard open G tuning on the slide dobro. Today we're going to learn these techniques using the simple melody for Mary Had a Little Lamb, this melody. Now, I'm sure you're familiar with that children's nursery rhyme. It's been around for years and years, and it's often the first 1 or 2 or 3 songs that everyone learns on any instrument because it's only got 3 or 4 notes in it, yet the melody's catchy enough to activate your mind's interest in finding where those sounds are on whatever the instrument is you're trying to learn. Now, on the slide dobro in the key of G, open G, B can be found on the 2nd string on the 12th fret, A is on the 2nd string on the 10th fret, and we'll play G on the 12th fret of the 3rd string. So B, A, G, A, B, 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 A, B, D, D. Now those high Ds are the open string, 1st string, but on the 12th fret. The next challenge we want to explore is to now play that same melody in 2-part harmony. So we're going to be playing 2 notes at the same time instead of 1. The high note will always be the melody note. That is the notes that you've just played before. B, A, G, A, B, 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 those notes. So we start with the first note, B, and we'll make the harmony note the 4th string. So we're here on the right hand, we're actually picking the 2nd and the 4th strings together. So we're playing the notes B and D on the 12th fret. So that's our first harmony pairing. We then take that back 2 frets, stick with the same strings, 2 and 4. The notes there now will be A and C, which are in perfect harmony. So then we go to G on the 3rd string, and our picking on the right hand here will be the 3rd string and the 5th string, which will be G and B. So in other words, our right hand harmony is keeping that 2-string pairing, either strings 2 and 4 or strings 3 and 5. And when we go to the high note D, our harmony note will be the 3rd string, which is G. Again, our picking hand, our right hand, is keeping that same spread of strings. So 1 and 3. So let me just play that now in harmony. Okay, so we've got Mary Had a Little Lamb in 2-part harmony. And we haven't done anything other than keep the bar perfectly straight across the strings. Now, where slant bar technique comes in is, what if we wanted to keep that melody on the 2nd string? if we didn't want to change down to that fatter sounding string moving off the plain strings, the first 2 strings on the dobro are plain steel, the other 4 are wound, and you can hear there's a different tone between a plain string and a wound string, the same as on any guitar. So let's say we wanted to keep the melody on the B string, the 2nd string, and add G here on the 8th fret rather than on the 12th fret of the 3rd string. We want to play it on the 8th fret of the 2nd string. Well, that's fine. As far as playing lead goes, that's okay. No problem. What about when we try and introduce the harmony? If we stick with our little first trick that we've learnt, it'd be like this. Well, hang on a minute. That doesn't sound right, does it? That pairing there against a G chord sounds a bit dissonant like that. And the reason is think of what notes you're playing. You're playing B, A, and G. In harmony, you're playing D, C, and B flat. Now, B flat is not part of a G major chord. B flat turns a G major chord into a G minor chord, and that's why that harmony doesn't sound good. It sounds interesting, but it's not right, because we're playing a minor chord harmony against a major chord in the background. Now, the answer here is, well, hang on, we found it sounded good down there. If we played a G and then kept our finger spacing on our right hand there, kept the, 1 string apart, the G and the B sounded perfect. How can we play a G and a B down here, keeping our G on the 8th fret? Well, the answer is B is here, right in front of our nose, right beside C. 1 fret back from C is B. We're playing B flat. What we want to do is play G on the 8th fret and B on the 9th fret. And here comes the fundamental concept of the slant bar technique. Just have a look what I'm doing with my hand there. So we've got to turn this into that. And if you listen closely, sort of like those pedal steel effects, because what's happening is this note is being slowly slid up from B flat to B. So if we want to play G and B together, we've got to slant our bar sort of on a 45-degree slant there. Now, it's not a mathematical thing, it's really a hearing thing, because what we're looking for is that note against that note. You can hear when it's in tune. So it's not what it looks like, it's not what angle it's on, it's actually what it sounds like. So to play the harmony, to play this harmony, but stick with strings 2 and 4, it would become this. Check out the bar technique. Okay, so in that case, we kept the front end of the bar on the note, the target note, and we had to actually slant the bar basically towards us. But if we look at it, it's sort of like a backward slant, where slanting the bar, we'll call that the backward slant. Now, there's no reason that we'd have to use a forward slant in the current arrangement that we've got of Mary Had a Little Lamb, but let's say we wanted to make the ending A, C, A, G. Just we wanted to make that the new ending. So A, C, A, G. Now, that time when I played it, I only played C as a single note. If I wanted to play harmony, I could actually slant my bar forward. I could be on the 12th fret, play D on the 4th string, and bring the pitch of B, which is on the 2nd string on the 12th fret, up to C. So can you see what I'm doing there? I know on the camera angle the bar's a little hidden, but the bar is under my index finger. So in that case, we've slid that first string up a fret, but we've kept the harmony note the same. So that ending, A, C, A, G, if we use the slant bar technique, that would become this. And you can see the combination there of the forward slant, where the front of the bar has to slant forward, and the backward slant, where basically the back of the bar comes towards you. I hope you've enjoyed learning just a little more about the basic techniques required to get the most out of playing slide instruments. In this case, the slide dobro using the open G tuning and basic forward and backwards bar slants. As always, keep in touch via my website. That's www.brianhayes.biz, B-I-Z, Z for Zorro. Drop me an email if you have any fundamental questions about playing the dobro or any of the slide instruments. And keep in touch via my YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss out on any of the new videos that I update on the many instruments that I play and teach. Bye for now.